economics. Well, starting with the chapter, firstly, I would like to tell you that around 1991, India was in a huge financial crisis. By financial crisis, what I mean are five terms. Firstly, that the expenditure had increased a lot. That India was, the people of India or the national income of India was being spent a lot more than what the revenue or the income that people were earning. Secondly, there was a high increase in prices. So there was inflation. There was high inflation. Prices had increased, expenditure had increased, and even essential products were being sold at a very high price. Thirdly, the foreign exchange reserves had declined. Foreign exchange reserves are the assets that are used by the country or that were used by India to conduct trade with foreign countries. So these had declined. Fourthly, there were not even enough foreign exchange to pay interest. So we did not have the assets even or the kind of money to pay interest. And fifthly, there was no country or international funder. International funder in the sense someone who could lend us money or who could fund our resources. So there was no country or international funder which could lend to India. So this was the financial crisis that India was dealing in 1991. So what reaction did India have is that it approached the IBRD. India approached the IBRD. So what is IBRD now? It's a very important one marker. It's called International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. So this is also known as a World Bank now. So this is the earlier name for International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. So India approached IBRD along with IMF. So typically we'll say India approached the World Bank and the IMF. IMF here refers to International Monetary Fund. Now what did India do? India asked for a loan. India asked for a loan of rupees 7 billion. 7 billion is a huge amount. And what did these IMF and World Bank ask in return for the loan is that they said that you have to meet three rules of ours, or you would have to liberalize your economy. Now I'll be teaching what actually liberalize means. Secondly, open up the economy by removing restrictions on private sector. So privatization had to be taken place, that there was no restrictions on the private sector were to be completely removed. Thirdly was that trade restrictions, which is basically globalization. So trade restrictions had to be removed as well. So here we get three words that we'll be discussing. The liberalization, privatization and globalization is what IMF and World Bank demanded. So India came up with the NEP. NEP is basically New Economic Policy, which consisted of all these three demands. It had all these three demands, and the purpose, as stated in your book, was to make India more competitive. Just remember the key terms that I'm mentioning here and you will get the marks that you require. I mean, honestly, these are just the keywords that your examiner will be looking forward to. So competitive environment is what they thought the purpose of NEP or the New Economic Policy is. The New Economic Policy is nothing but all of these three things: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Yeah. So the purpose was making it more competitive, and secondly to remove the barriers to entry, and for the growth of firms. So they felt like these two things would lead to the third. So what they actually thought was that competitiveness and removing barriers would lead to growth of firms. Well, anyway, we'll be analyzing